We are back with breaking news. As they say, this just handed me, and it's a story about how this story is moving faster than we thought. The FBI component of this story. We have this 1 week pause in the Kavanaugh vote while the FBI swoops in and does their work. Well, the L.A. Times, Jennifer Haberkorn, has just written, the FBI moved immediately given the short time frame. By Friday night, agents had sought to schedule an interview with one of two other women who, after Blasey Ford went public, made accusations of their own about alleged assaults dating to Kavanaugh's days in high school and at Yale University, according to two sources here who asked to remain unidentified. FBI investigators contacted the attorneys for the woman and asked to interview her as early as tonight. Can't emphasize how unusual that is. According to one of the sources, her attorneys countered with a later time, but the interview could occur this weekend, the sources said. All of this by way of bringing in our very germane next two guests, Barbara McQuade, veteran federal prosecutor, former U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Michigan, and Frank Figliuzzi, former FBI assistant director for counterintelligence, who in the past has worked for, among others, Robert Mueller. So, Frank, I was going to ask you, if this were a movie montage, are agents putting their stuff in overhead compartments, getting on flights tonight, renting cars? Are there whiteboards at field offices across the country? And this article helps to answer the question. This is underway and moving.
This is where the FBI shines when it's allowed to, Brian. So pagers have gone off, text messages are being sent, calls are being made. Everybody's been on standby. And if you're in the Baltimore division that covers Georgetown Prep, where Kavanaugh went to high school, if you're in the New Haven, Connecticut division that covers Yale, if you're in California, where some of the accusers and survivors are, you are in action getting your plan tonight. They're going to divide this up by field office, and then they're going to divide it up by what I call three buckets: people, places, and things. Who are the people? All the accusers that are known currently, and some who may not yet be known. All of the witnesses. What are the places? Yale University, dorm rooms, the house in Maryland where this party may have occurred. Does it still exist? Has it been refurbished? Is there a stairway? Is there a bathroom across from a bedroom? Are there photographs at Yale or Georgetown Prep that can put Kavanaugh next to people he says he doesn't even know, next to some of the accusers who lived in the dorm? Those people are going to get a phone call from the FBI back then. Those are going to be pulled. The Potomac Safeway supermarket where people may have worked and been spotted, they're going to pull records and pay records from there and find dates and schedules if they exist. And what about the things? The things include the polygraph exam that Dr. Ford already took. That should be pulled and reviewed for quality and see if it was done right and is credible. Are there other items that can be displayed, shown, photographs that show what was in the room, blankets, linens, posters on the wall where this may have occurred, all to refresh memories? And boy, lining up the final interview when all of this evidence is gathered, putting it down in front of Kavanaugh. And if I'm in charge of this, I'm putting two female agents in that room to ask him the questions and present everything that's been found at the end of the week and see if he can hold up or whether he blows up as he did against Senator Klobuchar.
Just need a moment to catch my breath. So, Barbara, it sounds to this layperson like the FBI has done this before. What are the blanks from yesterday's testimony you would like filled in if you were appointed special counsel investigating this case?
Well, I think the place that I would start is with Mark Judge. This is the one person that Dr. Ford actually puts in the room when this alleged sexual assault occurred. And so talking to him could be so critically important. I know that he has submitted a letter saying that he doesn't remember this, but that's so different from having an FBI agent show up at his doorstep and talk with him. As we saw yesterday, live questioning is very, very different from what ends up in a written statement, because that can be either written by or edited by a lawyer who can keep it very narrow. Watching body language, tone, inflection, all of those things matter so much, as well as the ability to ask follow-up questions. And so that would be absolutely the place I would start. And then the other two places that are so interesting, and I'm delighted to hear this breaking news, that the scope of this investigation is not just limited to Dr. Ford, who gave a compelling narrative yesterday, but we're going to hear they're going to investigate and interview also Deborah Ramirez and Julie Swetnick, it sounds like from your report. And so we don't know anything thing about them. I think it would be important to talk to them quickly so that if there is follow-up from those stories, you can go interview the people, the other witnesses they identify. So it's not surprising to me that they would want to get to them tonight so that they can use the rest of the week to talk to any other witnesses who might either corroborate or refute their stories.
So, Frank, I mean this respectfully. It doesn't sound hard, meaning it would be hard for us lay people, but this is what the FBI does. That you can reel off 30 steps is very indicative of a veteran agent. Let me ask you about a polygraph test for Kavanaugh. Is he under any obligation? And if he passes, if he says, no, I don't want to take one, does that get noted somewhere?
Absolutely, it will be offered, and I've seen it done. I have personally been involved in derogatory allegations against nominees where a polygraph was taken, and in fact, in those cases, it's cleared the nominee. So Dr. Ford took a polygraph exam. Judge Kavanaugh will be offered one, and if he refuses, it will be noted. And I'm going to tell you something. With the number of people believing that Judge Kavanaugh lied somewhere in the nomination process or yesterday regarding some small things and or some big things, he may have a problem taking a polygraph exam. I would be surprised if he agrees to take one.
Wow. And Barbara, what's their ability to compel if people don't want to cooperate?
Well, with regard to someone like Mark Judge or others, that's a place where you could run into some problems. It is not required to talk to an FBI agent. It would be purely voluntary. If Mark Judge or others would refuse to talk to the FBI agents, the remedy really is to go back to the Senate and ask them to issue a subpoena for their testimony before the committee. In light of the short timeline that has been put on this, 1 week, I don't know that if someone refuses to cooperate, they could get them subpoenaed and appear before the committee in that short period of time, or if they would have the political will to do so. So far, Mark Judge has said he is willing to cooperate. If I were Brett Kavanaugh and I believed I was innocent and really wanted this confirmation, I would urge all my friends to talk with the FBI. So that's really the remedy, is a subpoena, but we'll see whether the chairman has the political will to issue one.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.